Well, hello everyone. Hope your year is off to a good start. Welcome to In the Newsroom. I'm Hwang Ji-hye. Well, stick around in the next half hour or so. We'll be bringing you the behind-the-scenes look on how reporters spent the last day of year 2012 and ushered in the brand new year 2013. But In the Newsroom begins right now. Right, so this is the very studio that we had our New Year's Eve special. We had our correspondents and reporters as well as experts and Korea Today's Arirang helping us out looking back on year 2012 and looking forward to year 2013. How are you guys feeling?
Yeah, I know, like our reporters were here and there out in the field, and it was amazing to see all of our reporters, and even inside the studio they were all on the show. It was very nice to see all of them.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it'd be very meaningful that we come together and we have our first episode of In the Newsroom here, that we had our New Year's Eve special right in the studio. So Connie, you were one of the reporters who sat right here actually, and talked about what to look forward to and what to look back on in the IT sector. How did that go?
Right, so surprisingly, when I was preparing this segment, there was a lot that happened in the IT and smart technology here in Korea. We had the Apple versus Samsung patent battles, and we had so many new smartphone gadgets that came out from different Korean companies, and so a lot of the Korean tech companies also did well. So it was very, it was very fun and interesting, kind of looking back, and I can't believe how fast the year just started and ended, and so it was very fun for me to kind of look back through the stories.
To cover a lot of the trends, we've had Connie Lee reporting for us this year, and she joins us now. Connie, this has been a really smart year, I guess you could say.
Yes, it really was. I mean, as far as technology goes, 2012 was a very smart year with newer smartphones, more innovative smartphones, and tablet PCs hitting the shelves left and right. And I can tell you that at the end of this year, like Tommy said, so many people have smartphones now, and I can tell you that more than 65% of the Korean population now owns smartphones, so that is a huge number. I know you, Ji-hye, you actually upgraded your smartphone recently.
I did.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going well. I'm sure I'm not the only one.
Yeah, definitely. You are not the only one. There are many people who jump to getting a smartphone and just upgrading their smartphones constantly each time a new device comes out. So I have to say that Korean tech companies we're doing pretty well this year too.
It was quite different from what we did last year where we looked at different sections and fields, but we had keywords that actually best represent 2012, and one of them was living smart, wasn't it? And also, do you guys remember anything from back then?
I remember Rocket, one was Rocket.
By Defense Ministry.
Right, and Hanul came in, right, Islands, and
Transition, exactly. Presidential elections, we've seen quite a number of them in the region as well as in the United States. And also sports. You're a sports guy, aren't you?
Oh, pop.
Yeah, pop. Yeah, SJ.
when Tommy was sort of prepping up like those keywords, that was really nice.
Yeah, she did that too. And Extremes, our weathercaster, came in and talked about Bolivian and drought.
Yeah, and how it's impacting the economy, you know?
Exactly. We had our experts from different fields. They helped us out a great deal.
With friends and family, the
transfers data faster than upgrading their smartphones. When it comes out, Korean tech companies also thrive in 2012.
The word zero here is describing.
Well, yes, this year the word zero refers to a number of things with the economy.
Year.
Well, as
A little bit early. Our Polynesian tells us.
Newer and more innovative smartphones and tablets hitting the shelves left and right here in Korea. And I can tell you that. Okay.
technology goes, 2012 was a smart year with newer smartphones, more innovative smartphones, the tablet PCs, and getting a smartphone and just upgrading your smartphone
Back here in the studio, how did it feel to count down on air here in the studio? I mean, it was a first for me, actually. It was a very overwhelming experience.
Right.
How was it for you, Connie?
Well, I think because everything was live, we can't time out things, perfectly. And so I think at the end we were just kind of like rushing through things, and we were just keeping watch on the clock, but still we wanted to do the countdown. So it felt good. I mean, it felt like we were on our toes the entire time, and just to hear about different things, and especially just to celebrate it with different colleagues and peers here at Arirang, it was very memorable for me, and I think I'll remember it for a while.
Oh, me too. But what was also different about this year's New Year's Eve special was that we had our reporters out in the field. In the past year, we had just one connection with Bosin각, which is where the large Bell Pavilion stands in downtown Seoul. But this time we had different reporters out in various places. One in Imjingak near the border between South and North Korea, and
It's really, really cold.
exactly with our Kim Hyun-bin. They were there. She was standing by there, and the other one was a ski resort.
Right.
By our Song Ji-hye. Yeah. So you two, yeah. I mean, we need to applaud you for being out there in Bosingak, bracing the minus degrees, temperatures.
I know, it was really, the weather was freezing, but still, I was at the Bosin각, the large, as you said, the large Bell Pavilion located in Jongno District. It's in downtown Seoul, and annually there's a huge bell ringing ceremony. It's one of the largest events taking place in Seoul, and I guess in the whole country. And it is to mark the coming new year that's ushering in. It was very festive. It was very nice to be at the scene.
Americans, they throw their ultimate New Year celebration in New York's Times Square, the French at the Eiffel Tower. But Koreans, we have Bosingak in downtown Seoul, which is where Hwang Ji-hye is standing by. Ji-hye, you've been there since this afternoon. What's the atmosphere like there so far?
Hwang Ji-hye, I wish you guys could be here with me because it's just a huge party. This place is getting jam-packed with people who have braved the freezing winter weather to greet the new year with friends and family. The atmosphere is absolutely amazing. As you can tell by the noise, it's going to be a huge year-end festival. Around 100,000 people are here in downtown Seoul to bid farewell to 2012 and celebrate the launch of 2013 with the annual Bosingak bell ringing ceremony. Let's connect to Seung-ha, who is in the middle of the crowd. Seung-ha, how are people talking about how they spent the year 2012?
Hello guys, I'm here with Junyoung, who came all the way from Daejeon to spend New Year's Eve here in Seoul. Hi Junyoung. So what made you come to spend New Year's Eve here in Seoul?
I'm a Korean, but I didn't live in Korea for that long, so I never had the chance to see the ringing of the bell. But now, as a college student in Korea, I came here to see the ringing of the bell.
So what are your resolutions or wishes for the new year?
Well, I'm aiming to make a girlfriend and have an enjoyable campus life, and also achieve good grades.
I hope you have a very wonderful year. Thank you, Junyoung. So back to you, Ji-hye, in front of the podium.
You guys are working in tandem as a team.
Right,
so how did
right.
that go?
Well, Seung-ha, you can tell about your experience about the interviews that you did.
Yeah, I was in charge of doing some interviews with the people out there. There were, as we reported, more than 100,000 people gathered at Jongno District just to see the bell ringing ceremony. So it was really easy to get interviews from various types of people. I interviewed college students, a family, couples, and even a foreigner, and they were really excited to be there. So I could feel their excitement. So for the moment, I could forget about the freezing temperature.
인터뷰, 시민 인터뷰. 원래 이렇게 서브로 나오는 게 시민 인터뷰를 따로 나와주는 거네요. 그러니까 그것만 해주면 그러니까 내 생각에는 8시 뉴스 끝나고 10시 하기 전에 하는 게 좋을 것 같아요.
가운데까지 와달라고.
아, 저요? Bell was struck 33 times to send there someone. Keep those waiting for
앞쪽에서 이제 그 사종이사분들
토크하고요. 제가 했던 거 있잖아요. 그때 작년에 그거 하나랑 그러니까 3번 하잖아요. 20, 30분, 23시, 30분. 그래서 30분하고 30분은 그냥 인터뷰 넣고요. 30만 아까 그거 작년에 선배랑 했던 거.
뭐 먼저 할까요? 그냥 인터뷰?
네, 그냥 인터뷰 먼저 하고 그 다음에 세워놓고 토크하고 그 다음에 스탠드. 맨 마지막. 아이고, 대전에서
하이스에서
제일 멀리서 온 사람이
대전이요.
제주도 영어 할 줄 알아요?
네.
진짜? 나랑 이렇게 토크하는 형식으로 해도 괜찮아요? I hope you're very wonderful here. Thank you, Ji-hye. So back to you, Ji-hye, in front of the podium. 그럼 대전에 사는 거 맞죠? 대전 resident. 오케이, 고마워요. Happy New Year. Excuse me, are you a tourist?
What?
Are you a tourist?
No, I live in
Oh, you live in Korea. How was your 2012 and what are your New Year's resolutions or wishes?
It's been one of the best years so far. Maybe for someone special too.
Thank you very much. 지난 한 해 동안 어떠셨고 새해 소망 어떤 게 있어요?
지난해 좀
중년분들 그죠? 아, 중년분들 하면 좋을 것 같아요. 안녕하세요. 저희 인터뷰 하나만 해주실 수 있어요? 저희 아리랑 TV인데 그냥 간단하게 새해 원하시는 것들. 지난 한 해 동안 어떠셨고 새해 어떤 소망이 있으세요?
네, 지난해는 좀 경제적으로 좀 솔직히 어려움도 많았고요.
그러니까 이게 11시 연결이었거든요, 원래는. 그럼 11시 2분에 하는 거세요? 그러니까 여기
언제까지 보내야 돼요? 언제까지 보내야 돼요?
카운트다운을 외치면서 2013년 개사전을 준비해 주시기 바랍니다. 자, 이제 들어가겠습니다. 3, 2, 1 행복하시길 기원하겠습니다. 자, 나영씨.
been to Bosingak?
I've never actually.
I've been there, not on New Year's Day.
Not on the New Year's Day. You're just passing by?
Yeah, 종각.
Yeah.
I definitely think that you guys should be there at once in your lifetime because it's really huge. A lot of people gather, and I guess also Seung-ha would have felt that, but you can really feel the hopes and expectations of people for the new year. Like as she interviewed, they were like all hoping for a very joyful New Year. So like, yeah. I guess
And the timing of with the new president coming in, I think, it's a good time to kind of look forward and have these expectations for the next year.
Exactly. And this was not your first time. It was your second time, actually.
Yes.
Celebrating New Year's Eve in
I know.
Bosingak.
Right. Last year I was there with Seung-hee, and she was the senior at that time, and then she was sort of doing all the connections while I was supporting her with doing all the interviews and staying out there with her to, brave the cold weather and like to support her. Like if her makeup smudges, I sort of like, oh, your makeup is smudging, so like tissue her face or something. But this year it was really, I could really feel how much she was going through because it's really cold to be there for hours. I didn't know, because for me it was just fun to be there last year. But then this year I felt like, oh, this was a really tough job for Seung-hee to do so. So I really was with her in spirit. And yeah, it was really fun. I hope Seung-ha could pass on, although she wasn't out there during the whole connections, but I hope she learned something through the experience in Bosin각.
So any know-hows that you could maybe
just learning how to brave the cold weather.
Wear layers.
Yeah, I know.
2 socks at least. 2 socks.
Did you see Myung-gil with 7 layers of clothing?
Yeah, he literally had, I think, more than 7. He kept layering and layering. It was like negative 40 degrees Celsius in Imjinggak.
So Seung-ha, are you looking forward to being there next year?
Oh, yeah, probably.
I don't think he's too happy to hear that.
But it was really a great opportunity for me to. I was able to enter the media-only zone. Ordinary people were not allowed to enter. So it was really amazing to see a lot of people filling the main roads around the pavilion. It was my very first time going there, and I think it was worth it. Yeah.
All right, so not only here in Korea, also elsewhere around the world, of course, Paris, Shanghai, all the places were celebrating New Year's as well. And Hyun-bin, you had a chance to do a wrap-up on that.
I did. It all differs from place to place, I think. Country. Korea, you ring the bell 33 times. But like you go to Paris, they sparked up the Eiffel Tower, and there's couples like kissing and stuff like that. Like Shanghai, it's all different themes, and I thought that was interesting because I thought they were just gonna fire up fireworks. Some places just fire up fireworks, but there are other places in the world they do it in a different angle. So I thought that was pretty neat.
It was really pretty. The fireworks in Shanghai, I saw in
Shanghai,
your package.
They're shooting off in the boats.
Yeah, it was
And they had like a 3D projection on buildings of like their history, like going through like histories and stuff like that. And so I thought that was pretty cool.
The countdown to the new year is celebrated by most countries around the world. But how they celebrate differs from place to place. So how did the rest of the world celebrate the coming of 2013? In Shanghai, China, thousands of people came together to watch 3D images projected on buildings, portraying the city's history. As added entertainment, those attendants were treated to aerial performances and fireworks. In Berlin, spectators were wowed by a big fireworks display over the Brandenburg Gate. The million or so people showed up to celebrate the new year also has something else in mind. They sought to list a new flash mob world record, dancing to size, Gangnam style. Moving over to the city of light, Paris, where the iconic Eiffel Tower sparkled at the stroke of midnight. As so many couples do throughout the world, Parisians welcomed in the new year with a kiss. And in New York's Times Square, the mother of all New York celebrations, went down as it does each and every year. Millions of people came out to watch the descent of the huge crystal ball at the stroke of midnight.
But the year is still young, and we don't know what to expect for 2013. I mean, anything can happen. But what we know for sure is that there are some diplomatic events that's happening throughout this year.
Yeah, there's a lot of diplomatic ties, anniversaries. Most of them were like 40s to 50-year anniversaries. So what I found interesting was that 40 and 50 years anniversary was at that time was President Park Chung-hee, and now his daughter is going to celebrate those anniversaries, those diplomatic ties this year. So I found that pretty ironic and interesting. Yeah. But yes, there is a lot this year with 40s and 50s, and Germany hitting like 130-year anniversary, Korea, and President Park Geun-hye is the first female president who will take office in February 25th. So that'll be some major news. It's not as hectic as last year with all presidential election, general election, nuclear security summit. But this year, with all these anniversaries and maybe the Special Olympics coming up in January, I think I might have to go. But
oh, great!
Yes, that, and there's some other events throughout the way. So
tell us more about that event that you'll be attending and be covering.
Oh, for me, I'm going to Pyeongchang next week. It's like a dream program with like people from like Africa and like warmer climates who don't get much snow. They get to ski and ski jump board here in Korea. They get to experience that. And Pyeongchang Special Olympics is in 2 weeks. In the last week of this month, so goes on for about a week.
All right, so quickly, New Year's resolutions. Anyone?
I guess stay healthy, get some exercise, and try to go out for more stories this year.
Oh, lovely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be nicer to people around me.
Oh, okay. Wow. For me too. Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay.
Me, maybe being more positive.
For me, I want to take more pictures wherever I go, especially when I'm out doing my stories, and also just to be more bolder and courageous, career-wise and personally too. So, yep.
Right. Good health, success, happiness, and cherished memories. Yes, hopefully. And as a reporters, we could have, we could make this year 2013 another memorable one. All right, as we say it in Korean, 화이팅 everyone. 화이팅!
인터뷰 하나 해줄 수 있어요? 저 인터뷰 하나만 해주실래요?
감사합니다.
네, 오늘은 아주 열정이 가득한